Alright, to print out your plastic parts, 35% infill and 3 shells seems to make it strong enough. Then you'll need these extra hardware items. There are 4 M6 bolts 80mm long, one 3/8/16 bolt with 20mm of thread, and 12 M6 nuts. Additionally, there are 4 6x15 by 5mm bearings. First job is to put in the captive nuts into the plastic cavities that come fitted or come as part of the print. These 4 are for leveling the plate when using it on uneven surfaces. If they feel a bit loose, you could put a bit of super glue in to make, just to give you a bit of confidence that they're not going to come out, but they should press in fairly well. Here we are putting the horizontal nuts in. They squeeze in very tightly into notches in the print, so I'm using a pair of pliers just to make sure they're flush on the top and bottom, and then squeeze them into the notches, and they should be absolutely smooth on both sides, because the width of a M6 nut across the flats is 10mm long, which is the height of the plate. So I'm using the outer cavities here. You could use the inner cavities if you wanted to use slightly shorter bolts, and you could use all of the cavities if you want to remove any slop in the bolt, any movement. If you don't have a pair of pliers, and for these cavities close to the center of the print, you can use a hammer. Just sort of line it up, line the nut up with the flats. That's not easy, so you can just give it a sort of a tap in the right direction to make sure it's flat, and then just gently press it down. Don't hit the nuts too hard. You don't want to change the shape of them and make them unable to thread. So that's the last one. I think I'm putting only 12 of the possible 24 in there. 24 one? Yeah. Alright, so now that we've got those in and they're all nice and flush, you can check the alignment through the holes as well, just to make sure that they're all perfectly fitted. So now here I am putting the bolts into their storage travel positions, which leaves the heads inside those little recesses so they won't catch on things when it's in your camera bag. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the tripod bolt, which fits into that cavity there with a very firm fit, but you shouldn't need a hammer. You can just press that in with your thumbs, as you see there. Then obviously I could only get a 20mm. It was the shortest bolt I could get, so I've made this spacer. If you don't want the spacer, if you want it to be a smaller form, then you can either trim down the bolt or try and find a shorter bolt. Probably half the length of thread would be good. But since I've got the spacer, I figured that's a handy place to put to store the bearings for the dolly. So that's where they are, in their cavities in the spacer. Now we just add our tripod head, and we have the finished item. Pad Pod / Dolly. Thanks for watching.